As Lu Fan looked back, the air stood still for a moment. Suddenly, the silence turned into a scream. A bright glowing shadow rushed towards him. It was a dagger that emerged from the unknown darkness, like the deadly call of a hidden enemy. Lu Fan's eyes widened, but his body reacted instinctively like a seasoned warrior. In an instant, he rolled to one side, and the dagger whizzed past his cheek. His breathing became rapid, but his face remained calm. Without wasting a moment, he took out the mysterious bow from his inventory, the dark bow. This was no ordinary weapon. The most special thing about the dark bow was, without drawing the arrow, it could make 12 magical strikes. Each strike would bring the enemy 20% closer to death. This was not just a weapon, but a warning. Anyone who clashed with Lu Fan would find themselves at the gates of death. As Lu Fan already knew, this land was not ordinary. The very air here hid a mystery, the scent of an old, forgotten magic. As if some unknown force was warning him, he held his bow tightly and let out a magical strike. The arrow ripped through the air, and the next moment a loud explosion resounded. The ground shook, the surrounding grass burned, and a thick layer of smoke spread all around. The explosion was followed by silence. But then, something moved in that thick curtain of smoke. A figure slowly began to emerge. It looked neither human nor demon. Its shape was blurry, but its presence was so heavy that the air seemed to still. As the figure became clear from within the mist, a shuddering energy reverberated through the air. Suddenly, a demon appeared from the womb of the smoke. Its presence was so terrifying that the ground trembled. Lu Fan's eyes immediately flashed with warning. This was no ordinary creature. He recognized it, the shadow swordsman. It was a high-level demon, level 80. Its entire body was covered in black mist, as if night had taken form. Its movements were slow but firm, as if every step left a shadow of death behind it. Lu Fan sensed its main power, the shadow attack. The shadow swordsman gathered its shadow energy into a ball of black mist, and a moment later, the ball transformed into a solid entity behind each target and attacked. This attack dealt 2% physical damage, but the most deadly thing about it was sudden and unmistakable. The second power was Barrier of the Dead. As soon as it was activated, a black aura spread around the shadow swordsman's body. For 5 seconds, this shadow shield protected him from every physical blow, reducing the total damage taken by 10%. This time was enough for him to launch a deadly counterattack. And then, his final and most terrifying skill, Resonance. Like a suicide bombing, he releases all the shadow energy within him. Everything within a radius of 10 meters burns up in a black explosion, inflicting 300% shadow damage. This power was so devastating that the slightest mistake, and death was certain. Lu Fan hadn't fully comprehended the shadow swordsman's presence yet when a heavy, but concerned voice resounded from behind. "Brother." It was Andre. As soon as he saw the figure of the demon, his face hardened and he immediately rushed to Lu Fan's side. His breathing was heavy and his eyes reflected the pain of his past experiences. "Brother Lu Fan, be very careful of him," Andre said, his voice full of both fear and warning. "The last time we came to this area, this demon caused us serious damage. Many of our comrades were injured. Some couldn't even return." Both Lu Fan and senior sister's faces hardened. Andre continued, "He can block up to 70% of any type of attack, blade arrow or magic. And the most dangerous thing is, he mysteriously disappears in the black fog. At any moment, he can reappear out of nowhere, as if death had silently knocked on the door." There was a deep silence. The air felt heavier now, but the deadly silence was broken by senior sister's voice. She was silent for a moment, then a different gleam appeared in her eyes. The kind of a warrior who does not fear danger, but enjoys it. She stepped forward, and her simple dress changed into her SAS fighter uniform in the blink of an eye, dark red with streams of flame flowing out. She gave a bright smile, one that was not beauty, but fire and challenge. "Oh, so this is the creature that is so powerful," but her voice was cold, but it also contained a burning challenge. And at that moment, a fierce as burning spear appeared in her palm. Its metal blade was red, its tip glowing with fire. A fiery flame spread around it. The dry grass on the ground began to burn, and the air became hot. She slowly started walking towards the shadow swordsman. The ground burned with every step she took. She looked as dangerous as she was beautiful, as if the goddess of fire herself had descended upon the battlefield. "Okay," she said as she walked away, her words laced with sharp sarcasm. I want to see for myself, is it really that easy? And can it handle my moves? Her spear was now fully prepared, engulfed in flames, and her face was that of a pure warrior. The fire of battle had burned away. At that moment, senior sister rises up in the air at lightning speed, waving in her eyes with a steady fire burning. She charges straight at the demon. The next moment, her spear turns into a blazing flame, and with a ferocious strike she cuts the demon in half. The flames of her sword billow in the air as if struck by the fire god himself. The demon's body falls down, breaking in two, and a circular wall of fire forms around it, as if senior sister's very presence is summoning the fire. She stands still in the air, calm yet terrifying. Her weapon mysteriously changes shape, sometimes a spear, sometimes a magic staff, but she maintains the same form without hesitation, as if every change is linked to her will. But then senior sister frowns. Standing still in the air, she feels something strange moving behind her, as if countless eyes are piercing her back. Dozens of eyes glow from within the darkness. Red, yellow, black. They are not just watching, they seem to be piercing her soul. Big sister, be careful. Andra's voice screams from a distance, as if from a nightmare. These monsters don't come alone, they always come in packs. Senior sister turns, but the shadows are moving toward her from all sides. They stick to us like ghosts. Andra continues, his voice trembling. Once they catch hold of us, they don't let go, and one of them always represents the rest. Dancing, grimacing, dissolving into our memories. The shadows of old defeats are reflected in her eyes. I remember, the last time we set foot in the Shadow Islands, we were defeated by one of these. He knew our every move, knew every weakness. The air grows heavy, and senior sister's fingers tighten around the hilt of the spear. Andre's voice is heavy and hoarse now, as if every word is blood seeping out of his chest. The last time, when we fought them, he says softly, I lost most of my brothers. They were all better than me, braver than me. And we even had a rank 4 warrior with us? His throat chokes. He was killed, too. We had no choice, he says softly. We had to retreat in disgrace. Saving lives was our only victory that day. Lu Fan, who had been listening silently until now, suddenly speaks up, his eyes filled with disbelief and uneasiness. Even with the strength of rank 4, he asks, were they not safe? Andre's eyes slowly lift to Lu Fan's tired, dull eyes that held more silence than any answer. This place doesn't see strength, he barely whispers. It sniffs out fear, it rips at the soul. Lu Fan listened intently to everything Andre said. There was no fear on his face, instead, a slight smile appeared. And where? He said calmly. Don't worry this time. This time it's different. His words floated in the air, as if predicting some invisible change. Then, without wasting a moment, he looked at Xiafei and signaled with his head. Now, he said, summon the holy dragon. Li Xiafei immediately fluttered in the air at his command. His flute, dragon bone flute, the air suddenly became heavy. And then, a light burst out from the shadows of the fallen bodies. The holy dragon appeared. Its eyes glowed with ancient fire, and divine rays emanated from its body. Its every breath seemed to shake the ground. This is the same Fallen Corpse holy dragon, whose power is always equal to the level of its summoner. Andre's eyes widened in surprise. He almost stopped breathing. A dragon, and it is also summoning another dragon. His comprehension was halted. And then, Lu Fan drew his sword, his blade created a dazzling effect in the air. Without hesitation, he took support from the sacred dragon's wings and flew into the air, as if he had come from the sky to challenge a battle. From above, he called out, Xiafei, now, release the emerald light and emerald blessing. Xiafei's green glowing energy spread out like waves, and a mysterious symbol appeared in the sky. Emerald light, emerald blessing. This blessing was no ordinary one. 3 to 6 layers of dragon aura power surrounded the target, which caused each attack to deal 36 times more damage. The effect of old light provides the target with 3 to 6 layers of divine protection. Each layer burns away negative effects and increases each of the target's attributes by 30 to 60%. Each of these layers alone can absorb up to 12 times the damage inflicted, like an invisible shield of blessing. Lu Fan's eyes flashed with lightning. He didn't want to waste any more time. Dragon boost power, now, he commanded. The sacred dragon let out a loud roar. Its breath shook the air, and a golden glow spread all around. This boost power spread out like a tremendous energy, causing Lu Fan and all his dragon pets to suddenly glow with energy. All attributes, all attacks had increased by 30%, and then 2 more dragons appeared in the air from Xiaofei's flute. They roared loudly as they landed on the ground. One's roar was as fiery as fire, the other's roar was as heavy as a rock, splitting thunder. Fierce flames billowed around them, as if they were not just living beings, but the embodiment of ancient anger. Without any further prompting, they all charged forward together. Even in the chaos of battle, Lu Fan's gaze was steady. He looked at Andre, his wounds, tired eyes, and the pain hidden within were evident. Lu Fan spoke softly, his voice promising. "I know about your injuries, Andre. I will take care of them and avenge them." Andre was stunned for a moment. He couldn't say anything, but the gleam in his eyes spoke volumes. Andre frowned. "Hey, brother," he said, "did you only bring 2 dragons? How are we going to deal with this group with 2 people?" Lu Fan looked at him and smiled. That smile was no joke. He slowly stepped forward, swinging the tip of his sword in the air, and said, "Only 2 dragons are enough to fight them." As the monsters drew closer, a fierce battle began. The breath of the sacred dragon created walls of fire. The dragons summoned by Xiaofei burned countless monsters to ashes with their flames. The earth shook, the sky turned red, screams and roars echoed everywhere. But in the midst of that hell, one figure stood still, surrounded by a purple aura. Its body was shrouded in mist. Its eyes were as black as the new moon. Lu Fan's gaze was fixed on it. He stepped back, lowered his sword slightly, and said slowly, "The battle continues. But the real danger is this." His voice became serious. "This is no ordinary battle. This is a secret battle." He turned to Xiaofei and Andre. "We'll have to be careful. This monster attacks in the dark. Its strength is not open battle, but shadows." Pointing to the purple monster, he said, "When its hook touches you, it silently sucks away your life force. And if you get hit by it, a part of your body could become permanently disabled." Lu Fan was still trying to understand the layers of danger when, char, a chain surrounded by a red aura suddenly leaped towards him like lightning. He couldn't understand its meaning, but its appearance was different, as if it bound the soul, not just the body. Just as he was about to react to it, another chain ripped through the air and moved towards Senior Sister. Lu Fan's face changed. Not for himself, but for her. He shouted without thinking, "Senior Sister, be more vigilant!" Senior Sister heard the shout, but there was no fear in her eyes, just a sharp confidence. She drew her bow and said in a cold voice, "Do you think I'll give up so easily?" And at that moment, she grabbed the chain with an arrow. A jerk, and the chain started to pull towards her. But Senior Sister didn't back down. She pulled with all her might, as if she were the hunter, not the prey, and the demon hiding in the shadows, who tried to play with the chains, was now forcibly dragged into the light. His face distorted, his purple aura breaking. Senior Sister rained down a barrage of blows on him, arrows sharp, each one hitting the target. As she attacked, she said without looking at Lu Fan, "Lu Fan, do you really think he can beat me?" This time they messed with the wrong person. The demon threw the chains, his intention clear, to strangle Senior Sister and kill her. But he missed. Senior Sister didn't panic, changed direction in an instant, drew a circle on the ground with her magic arrow. And in an instant, flames rose up, surrounding the demon. The burning chains crackled. The demon's screams melted into the air, and he disappeared in a split second. Silence fell. Senior Sister stood, bow still in hand, breathing deeply. She said softly, "That was so easy." Her eyebrows furrowed slightly. She whispered, "Was it really my power? Or is it the dragon's influence?" She looked around. There was no sign of the demon. Her voice became even lower, as if she was saying to herself, "Or that monster is able to hide and has only just hidden. That's beyond my imagination." The monster had vanished into thin air, as if it had never existed. Senior Sister's eyes widened. Her breath suddenly stopped. For a moment, she was at a loss. Had she really destroyed the monster, or had it somehow cleverly made itself invisible? A wave of doubt rose within her. This was the moment where the line between trust and illusion blurred. But just then, a sharp realization struck her. If it was a level 85 elite monster, I should have combined at least 2 skills to kill it in one hit. And then she thinks of Xiaofei. I've seen her before, but when I saw her up close today, something changed. The dragon's achievement is no longer a matter of pride, it has become a miracle to us. Xiao Fei's skills, they are not ordinary. She suddenly raises her hand in excitement, her eyes shining. She turns to Lu Fan and says in a low but firm voice, "You must keep yourself out of the intrigues of those families in the West region." She pauses, then takes a breath and continues, "I will deal with them now. I need Xiao Fei for a few days, hand her over to me." There is no hesitation in her words, just a promise. I will single-handedly destroy Xiao Long's house. When Xiao Fei hears that Big Sister is asking to borrow her for a few days, her face turns pale. She turns around silently, then rushes towards Lu Fan and holds him tightly, like a child holding his father's hand in a storm. Her eyes are scared, innocent, and deep. "I don't want to go," she mumbles, her face pressed against Lu Fan's back. Lu Fan gently strokes her trembling back. The sadness in her voice shakes him to the core. He looks at Xiao Lian, his voice hesitant for the first time. "Big Sister, you can't borrow Xiao Fei like that. Look at her. She's shaking just at the thought of leaving me." Lu Fan quietly bends down and picks up a glowing blue stone from the ground. He gently places his hand on Xiao Fei's head. There is a fatherly tenderness in his touch. Then he says with a slight smile, "I won't lend you money. Don't be afraid. Just go. I will always be with you, no matter where you are." Wu Xiao Fei says nothing, her fear melting away for a moment. Her fists are still clutching Lu Fan's shirt, but a slight light returns to her eyes. The senior sister standing nearby sees all this and laughs lightly. "You are right. It really isn't easy to borrow Xiao Fei." Her laughter is neither warm nor sarcastic, only a genuine understanding. Andre, standing behind, nods slowly. "Yes, of course." He smiles. Fan paused for a moment, then raised his head and looked at the system. His eyes were serious. "Shadow Dragon's Breath." He mumbled, "Its drop rate is too low. That means we have to breed more monsters, a lot more." Just then, a glowing screen pops up in the air. System notification activated. Shadow Dragon King's contract is available. Use conditions. 3 consumables of legendary quality are required. Shadowstone Zudupi 3, Crystal 101 obtained. Shadow Waterfall Water 50 points. Lu Fan reads the screen carefully, then whispers, "So, these are all the things needed to summon Shadow Dragon King Black. Contract features. The summoned Dragon King can be assigned to battle, maximum duration 60 minutes, use limit 3 times. Just then a heavy but warm voice comes from behind. Andre quietly puts his hand on Lu Fan's shoulder and asks with a smile, "Hey brother, what happened?" "It's too little. What are you talking about?" He pauses for a moment, then adds with a slight laugh, "If it's about demons, don't worry. They're coming. And in very large numbers." Lu Fan looks at him. Andre's smile is both mocking and confident. Lu Fan replies softly, "Okay then." He turns back to look at the others and nods slightly. "Let's go." Andre glanced around and said confidently, "It's all right. Don't delay any longer. Let's head in the direction of Shadow Spring." Lu Fan responded not with words, but with a swift action. He put 2 fingers in his mouth and let out a shrill, high-pitched whistle. The sound echoed through the air as if awakening some ancient magic. Then he pointed into the sky. Far away, Dragon Soul. His voice was steady, but there was fire within. "Don't just destroy these shadow swordsmen. Use the Divine Sun Lion to turn them into attribute points. Every drop counts." The Dragon Soul roared, an echo that shook the ground. Everyone's eyes focused on it. Senior Sister said softly, "Perhaps something big is about to begin." As a few figures appeared on the horizon, everyone's eyes became alert. The monsters had arrived, moving at a rapid pace, dust flying from their claws, and their eyes reflecting a thirst for blood. Lu Fan's entire group sprang into action in an instant. No orders were needed. It was the kind of coordination that is born of time and trust. Andre was the first to step forward, his voice booming. "Just as you said, someone has come to deliver the supplies again." The weapons in his hands glinted. "Now we will kill them and take what we need from them." Lu Fan was watching his back, but his attention was elsewhere. He immediately turned to Senior Sister, a slight hint of worry in his eyes. "Senior Sister, be careful with your injuries. I think you should rest this time. Andre and I will take care of everything." Senior Sister smiled. She was tired, but there was still fire in her eyes. "I'm fine," she said softly. "Xiao Fei is nearby. That's enough. If she's with me, nothing will happen to me." The battle lasted for 4 hours. The field was filled with dust, blood, and flames. Demon corpses were scattered all around. Andre smashed enemies like rocks with his heavy hammer. Lu Fan's divine bow pierced through 2 demons with a single arrow every time, and Senior Sister, her spear art had become a dance of death. Xiao Fei, standing on a safe ledge, watched everything quietly, wonder and respect in her eyes. After 4 hours of continuous fighting, but eventually the last demon fell. Slowly, peace descended on the field. The air was still heavy, but it no longer smelled of danger, but a mixture of exhaustion and satisfaction. The system notification flashed. She noticed a Shadow Island Aura 1 has been obtained. Current Aura Point Shadow Island Level 1 unlocked. Lu Fan quietly picked up a black glowing stone in his palm. He swings it in the air, then looks at everyone and says, "Finally, now we are close to the central area." An awkward silence descends all around. This is not of exhaustion, but a precursor to a new turn. They all knew this was not the end yet. This was just the beginning. They had finally arrived at the place, Shadow Island. The sky was overcast, the sun was absent, and before them lay an old, ruined city, with countless graves scattered around it, as if some forgotten history was quietly sleeping there. Andrew stood still. His wide eyes widened in surprise at the sight of the city. "This place, it's really ancient and scary," he said softly. "There are graveyards everywhere, and the city gate, the ground isn't even visible, just stones and graves." There was an unnatural silence all around. Lu Fan took a few steps forward, then stopped and looked deeply at the city. "This looks like Zhang's city," he said in a serious tone. "But there's something different, something wrong." Senior Sister glanced around. "There's no movement here," she whispered. "No monsters, no humans. It's like this city isn't even breathing. This is it." And Andre hurriedly pulled out an old, torn map from his bag and pointed to it. "Shadow Spring is in the middle of this ruined city." But Lu Fan's eyes were not on the map. He was feeling the air around him. Something unusual, heavy, and scorching. "There's something wrong here," he said softly. And then, a huge fireball appeared to fall down rapidly from the sky. The air began to heat up. The ground trembled. Everyone felt its heat and pressure deep into their bones. Fear suddenly flashed in Lu Fan's eyes. "Senior Sister, move," she warned. But she was stunned for a moment, not able to understand where the danger was. Senior Sister fell to one side, and the fireball hit her previous position. The ground crackled with a rumble. There was a huge explosion, and a huge flame erupted, engulfing the entire environment. A few moments later, Senior Sister looks at Lu Fan, breathing heavily. "You saved my life," she says softly. Lu Fan doesn't look at her. "You don't need to thank me. If you want to thank someone, thank Xiao Fei." Lu Fan looked at Xiao Fei and bowed his head in thanks. Then he said in a serious tone, "This attack, it was a magical attack. It happened suddenly, without any warning. It really wasn't easy to react to it immediately." Andre coughed and tried to compose himself. His voice was both nervous and angry. "What happened? This explosion. What kind of explosion was this? Who did this?" Then he roared, "Come out. Whoever it is, come out." Without wasting a moment, Lu Fan sprang into action. His eyes suddenly became alert. He raised his hand, and a red aura burst out from his palm, slowly spreading out in all directions like a warning floating in the air. In a serious tone, he said, "There's something here. There must be demons here. We can't see them, but they're definitely there." His aura grew stronger. Maybe, there's not just one, but several, many demons that are hiding. Lu Fan wasted no time in looking at Xiao Ji. There was no hesitation in his voice now, only a sharp tone of command. "Xiao Ji, activate the concept. We have to hunt them down." Xiao Ji listened to him, and in an instant, his eyes changed deep black and glowing. He transformed into his world-destroying form, red cracks flashing across his black skin. And then a terrifying roar echoed through the atmosphere. This was no ordinary roar. It was the proclamation of a concept. The concept he had activated had one characteristic. This black dragon could sense the presence of any hidden or sneaking enemy. His consciousness spread all around, like an invisible net. Now, no matter how hidden an enemy was, his breath, his presence were all exposed. As soon as Xiao Ji activated his connotation, a buzzing energy spread out. Something in the air felt like it was breaking, as if an invisible curtain had been ripped apart. And then all around, in the air, on the ground, in the trees, Demonic figures appeared one by one. Some had wings, some had claws, their eyes were like burning flames. It all happened so fast that everyone was stunned. The terrifying echoes and dark energy began to grow all around. Lu Fan's eyes widened. He said in a heavy voice, "No, this isn't just any normal attack. It seems that the level 95 elite master, Shadow Death Singer, is here." The air around felt heavier as he heard this name. Senior Sister stared for a moment, then said in a whisper, "This number, all of them. Look up at the sky, there are thousands of them." There was no longer surprise in his voice, but worry. In the sky above, hundreds, not thousands, of demonic shadows were flying, shattering the silence before a battle. At that moment, something flashes in the air. A status window appears in front of Lu Fan and Senior Sister, a mysterious screen flickering in the invisible sky, visible only to select people. The words slowly appear on it. An enemy information received Naim Shadow Death Singer, type Ancient Shadow Monster level, estimated level 95 Elite Master Class, status feature. If it is not attacked for 10 seconds, it automatically enters stealth mode. It is extremely difficult to detect while in stealth mode. Main power. The prime dirge, an ancient melody that is sung and whose vibrations disturb the consciousness of all enemies. Targets within a 10-meter radius are confused by shadow magic with a high probability. A shadow magic energy stored ball is fired towards the east at the confused targets. The ball deals a massive amount of shadow damage and adds a slow effect as well. Lu Fan looked out the window, his brow furrowed. This is no ordinary monster. It is adept at thinking and hiding. And when it starts singing, it wreaks havoc. Senior Sister said softly, "We have to do something before it starts its song." Just then, Lu Fan raised his hand to signal everyone to stop. "Wait a moment." His voice was calm, but there was some warning inside. Suddenly, the ground began to shake slightly. Particles began to scatter. Something heavy was moving from beneath the earth. Lu Hai's gaze focused on the ground. "Down there. Something is moving." His voice became heavy. "There's something hidden underground." Senior Sister immediately activated her spear. Her eyes became sharp, and she thought to herself, "Is this the real boss? Have we just seen the beginning yet?" Lu Fan understood everything. His eyes were no longer just on the surface. These are not ordinary monsters that can be defeated with just strength. He muttered, "Jiao Ji!" He called out. Jiao Ji immediately came forward. His black glowing eyes glowed red again. He activated perception once again, and at that very moment the ground seemed to split open. Dust flew up, and a terrifying figure emerged from it. The monster looked strange, neither completely a monster nor a beast. It had fine thorns on its body, its skin looked like pale ash. Lu Fan looked at it and was speechless for a moment. It hides underground. Its level is lower than the Shadow Death Singer, but its skill, it is beyond recognition. Andre's eyes widened. He took a step back and said, "What do you mean? Does that mean it can target us at any time without warning?" Then Senior Sister slowly stepped forward. There was no hesitation in her eyes anymore, only determination and decision. "In this case," she said in a clear voice, "Andre and I will keep an eye on the movements of these demons. We must not let them scatter." She turned to Lu Fan. "Why must eliminate these Shadow Death Singers as soon as possible? Only then can we safely enter our territory." Lu Fan nodded deeply. "Senior Sister, you are absolutely right. The time has come. We must eliminate them here." The wind died down for a few moments, and then Senior Sister and Andre stepped forward together. They both leaped upward with all their might, making a long, precise leap into the air, straight towards the demonic horde, where the mist of shadow and death loomed. Just then, when the battle had already begun in the air and the ground was still shaking, Xiaoji's gaze suddenly focused on a point. His movement stopped, and he slowly removed the top layer of soil with his claws. There was something hidden in the wall. Lu Fan noticed it. He immediately ran down to the ground and approached Xiao Fai. "What did you find?" he asked in a serious tone. Xiaoji tilted his head, and there, within the soil, lay an old, burnt letter. Lu Fan carefully picked it up. As he opened the letters glowed on their own, as if an ancient language had recognized it. After reading for a few moments, Lu Fan's eyes lit up. "This is a mission," he said in a low but clear voice. "This time our goal is to find the boss, who has been hiding in the shadows all this time." He folds the letter carefully and keeps it with him, then looks at Xiaoji. A light smile appears on his face. Once again, you helped me find the mission Xiaoji. This chapter ends here. Subscribe to the channel to watch the next chapter. Do press the bell so that you can be the first to watch our upcoming videos.